How's your health affected by your digital connections?
Yeah, I think that we hear a lot about digital connections at the moment, don't we? I mean, look, it's here. Digital tech is here. It's a fundamental part of our everyday life, and actually, it's been a real savior of late, hasn't it? It's enabled us to have these connections over these difficult times. But again, the statistics, what do they tell us? What did I read the other day? I think in the UK, we spend an average of about 8 to 9 hours a day on our screens. And that's, for some people, that's more than actually they're sleeping. And on average, we're checking our phones every 12 minutes. And nearly 50% of us are looking at our phones within 5 minutes of waking time. So, these stats tell us that the digital tech is here and we're spending a lot of time with it. But what's the problem? What's the effect with that? Well, there's some stuff that's been coming up in relation to health and the use of digital devices. So some new terminology. I don't know if you've come across the term nomophobia before.
I haven't, but I'm aware of the studies around social media. Are you referring to social media or just gadgets in general?
Both actually. Well, gadgets first of all. So nomophobia is a phobia of being without your phone.
Right.
It's a panic disorder. So that, you really can have a sense of panic. Addiction is another word we're starting to associate with digital tech, and certainly gaming addiction. It's now a recognised condition as such. So those are sort of two new terms as such that come up from use of digital tech. And that includes, phones, screens, being on social media, dry eyes. If we're staring at our screens for long periods of time, we know that eyes do get very dry. And again, there's something called the 20-20-20 rule, which is really useful to use. So every 20 minutes, look away 20 meters into the distance for 20 seconds. We've got to get back into varying our gaze as well. And neck pain as well. There's something called text neck, quite colloquially, which is very much about the sort of, looking down on our phones and texting all day long. But I think the biggest stuff is around the impact on mental health and social media. Now, interestingly, it's, if there's any parents listening and you're like anything like me, we're always sort of, encouraging our children not to stay on their social media devices too long and be on, Facebook late into the night. But actually what I found, some of the research has shown, is it's not so much the quantity of time that you're spending on social media that has that impact on mental health. It's actually the quality of the connections. And that's the important thing. It's not get off your phone and get off your gadgets. It's thinking about how do you choose to interact with the digital world? How intentional are you in using it? And again, back in the business world, it's really easy to get distracted by our devices as well, isn't it? A quick touch of the phone and a quick swipe, and before you know it, that task you were supposed to do, and you're off on sort of another email track. And this happens to all of us, happens to me all the time. And one trick is actually out of sight, out of mind. I know it's the sort of thing our parents used to say to us all the time, but actually, putting your phone away, just by having it in your visual line, means that it's the dopamine distraction. That's what phones are designed to do. They're supposed to create that reward in you. What's next? What's coming next? Who's texted me? Who's tagged me? We do all that, put it out of sight, and actually you can focus much better on the task ahead and then get it back out when you need to. That's being intentional with the use of your digital tech rather than it controlling you. You become, it becomes your tool rather than you becoming its tool, really.
Mm. Yeah, I laughed initially, but it's actually pretty unfortunate if people really are addicted to having their phone around, or fear of, what did you say the condition was?
Nomophobia.
Nomophobia.
Yeah.
It's a new one for me.
That's a real extreme, but it does exist. Again, anxiety, panic, these are all very difficult conditions to have in your life, actually. That really overriding sense of overwhelm and panic. And when that's related to being separated from something, in this case, separated from your phone, it does tell you really that, that relationship between you and tech that's supposed to support you in what you do actually becomes the thing that starts to harm you as well.